Yo, yo. Are we back? Yo, yo. All right. All right. It's look like we back and look like everything in motion. At least I hope. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for that. I don't. What can I say? I don't even know what to say about that. But and look like it's still showing me live on the other one. Let me see. It's showing me live twice. Yeah, it's showing me live twice. All right, Falcon, you still in the building? Josh? Somebody say my volume is low. Yo, yo, can you hear me? Yo. It's showing me a live twice, y'all. So I don't know what's up. It's showing me live twice. And um anyway, brother Faulkner, you still in the chat room? Did you get a hold of Josh? Anyway, so since we back, and I hate when this shit fuck up like that, it throws me off my game. So let me let y'all hear what this about what happened.
Presented with his resignation, and I accepted it. My preliminary review of particularly the public video, is extremely disappointing to me. I don't think that there was any room for the activity that I saw. It's extremely disturbing. The repeated head strikes, strikes toward the head, are disturbing. The manner in which it was done, the fact that the was sort of very post the head strikes. That's disturbing to me. I think that this shows us another deficiency in our training that we can learn from. The fact that this particular incident could have been better taught if we learned from more of a scenario-based training concept than a pen and pencil, sit down, read a book, let me lecture to you concept.
Brother Faulkner. Can you hear me? Oh, shit. Brother Faulkner, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Doing all right.
All right. Appreciate you calling in. Where my boy Josh at, man?
I think he might be asleep. I think he got to work in the morning.
Oh, okay then. That's what's up, man. Well, you make sure you see this and whatnot, man. So, I got you on the line, man. You know, and I'm pretty much sure you heard about this. This is your hometown, and you heard what y'all commissioner had to say, man. Dude, give us your thoughts on this by you being a officer of the Baltimore Police Department, man. What do you think about this? Or is there more to the story that we don't know about?
There's always going to be more to the story that we never hear about. That's the crazy part.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where people ask me, do you have an issue with what the officer did? And I said, I'm not upset when an officer has to strike anybody. I'm upset when they get overly emotional about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told people before, when you look at the video and he's holding his hand out to keep some distance, and the dude slaps the hand, yeah, you might get struck because you struck me.
Right.
But I don't have to keep. But it depends on if you're going to keep being violent. Okay, if he's not doing anything else, you stop hitting him. But it also goes back into a very great disdain for law enforcement. I understand what happened in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But now you're being taught at home to disrespect authority.
Yes.
Like I said on your previous shows, how much does it take to comply? How much does it, even if the officer's wrong, he has a supervisor? And it's the same thing for all the people who want to be police officers. Do not give these guys a payday who weren't basically shit in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be in shit. It's facts over feelings, logic over emotions.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I agree with that. So,
and then, go ahead.
So, if you could tell me, man, before I read this article, what are they saying led up to this incident? Why was the police there in the first place?
From what I understand, because, I like to look at as less news as possible, but it's such a negative drag on your soul, if you ask me.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you on that, brother.
So what I'm hearing is from an FI, which is short for a field interview. And I believe the officer had prior contact with the guy from arresting him.
Right.
And, emotions started flaring up. And I hate to go back once again to your previous shows when I said one of the biggest issues with black people, whether civilian or police officers, we're too damn emotional.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's because a lot of us are raised in single female homes or we're basically in a broken matriarchy. I don't know. You don't have a lot of logic and a lot of manhood going on in the black community. That's why we have a lot of the sugar, honey, iced tea going on in it.
Right.
Instead of actually talking it out and look, it's like an old saying, you could talk yourself into a fight or out of a fight. And instead of the officer, there's some things I could look at and blame the officer. There's some things I could blame the other guy. I'm like, dude, let's talk to the dude. As long as you do what I say and I want you to leave, I don't care. You don't have to give me your ID all the time, but if you're leaving and you're no longer a problem for me, hell, I still win. You can call me all kinds of son of a bitches and motherfuckers, but if you're walking away while doing it, I'm winning.
Absolutely.
As long as you don't put your hands on me, then we have another issue.
Right.
But if you're doing it, you're talking it away, I don't give a damn.
Right. Brother Falcon, I did a show a few days ago about the cop. I forget where this happened at. The guy was running and the cop shot him in the back. And the thing I was telling the audience, you know, when I first talked to you and brother Josh, that y'all spoke about that, or what he did. You know, what he did, what it seemed like to me was precision aiming. And also, when I had you on another show, you yourself also say, you know, hey, if you put on a chase, you know, put on a chase. There's no reason really to put your gun out. You know, if he get away, you know, you live for another chase. You know, there's no point of shooting them while they running. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that. When it's like you have an officer shoot somebody in the back, it has to be damn good situation. And if the guy has a weapon and he's about to go in the store and barricade and hurt somebody, or if he's turning back to pull the weapon, but if he's unarmed and running away and there's too much distance, you know, call for the cop, call for more units, call for the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you got to be damn sure that he's got a weapon and he may kidnap somebody or make a hostage situation or barricade himself, or if he's known to be violent.
Right.
So it's always a situation. There's no such thing in law enforcement as the perfect situation.
Absolutely. Now, in the video, of course, it doesn't show the young man having a gun in his hand, but in the article that I read, I think they made some references that he did have a gun or something, but they never said that he took the gun and aimed it at him. So is there a difference between you getting out of the car with a weapon, period, versus aiming the gun at the cop, or it all goes in the same lunchbox?
It goes back to what I said. There's no perfect situation because you shoot him so he doesn't get a greater advantage over you.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything situation dictates. You know, it's the old saying in the academy, you're given half a second to be judged on something that the Supreme Court can judge you on for 2 years.
Right.
So we can pretty much play Monday morning quarterback for 2 times 365 until a lot of people get into that situation. They're going to always have their opinion over it.
Right. And I feel on that. Now, my last question to you, man, and thank you for calling, bro. I really appreciate it. Don't know what happened earlier, but I really appreciate you finding the stream and coming on in. One last question I'm going to ask you, man, and I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to get back to the audience and talk about some more. Have you heard about this operations thing they got in Chicago about the Nike bait truck? Have you heard about that?
Oh, no, you got to inform me about that.
All right, cool. Well, I'll do that now while I got you on the phone. Where's it at? Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, I got it pulled up right over here. So what I'm going to play for you right now, bro, and for the audience to hear, I guess these guys were a couple of activists and saw the truck, and I just let you hear it if you can hear it. I'll let you hear what they had to say.
Yeah, they are right there. Uh-huh.
Move this truck. Get this truck out of here. What? Huh? What?
Y'all baiting our young kids in, man.
Trapping young black kids and
Yeah.
times on them. It's a whole lot of real stuff that can be done.
Right.
A whole lot of real stuff.
All right, well, fish shouldn't be breaking back in the trucks. That shouldn't.
Ain't nobody, I ain't touched the truck. Ain't nobody breaking in the truck. I think this is bogus, and y'all shouldn't be trapping black
Yeah.
kids. I think it's bogus. What up? Huh? It's a public street, right?
Have a good day.
I'm having a good day. Y'all have a good day. Get this truck out of here, though. We're not letting y'all lock up no more of us. We got enough of that. It's real crimes being committed. Why do you got to do this?
Why don't you go preach to somebody else?
Huh?
Go preach to somebody else.
Put this in your neighborhood. Let me see this in your neighborhood, and then I won't be doing none of this.
Yeah.
All right? That's what I'm saying. Go. You do this where you live? Huh? And you lock people up for this? So where can I see some video on that?
Go look at YouTube too, man.
On YouTube?
Everything's on YouTube.
What's your neighborhood?
Type in bait truck. Type in bait truck.
Bait truck. What's your neighborhood?
Type in bait truck.
Get it out of here. We don't want it over here, though. We don't
You know what?
The residents don't
we're
want
ready
this
to leave.
over here.
When we're ready to leave,
Me too.
we'll leave.
Me too.
You can hang out here all day.
I know.
Guess what?
It's
We got
a
more
bait
time.
truck.
We got more time to kill than you.
All right. We both. How you know how much time I got? You got 8 hours, 10 hours, 12.
I'm getting paid to stay here.
That's all right. I care about. I ain't gotta get paid. Y'all mad. There you
See
man.
this shit, y'all see the
See
lights
it,
quick
kid.
right there.
You love me.
You know.
Are you riding? Get this big truck out of here.
Right, now you think she's got no wheels.
Say what? You can't do that.
You can't do it without a car. That's how you're supposed to do it.
That's right here, though. Oh, you talking about I got to be right? You're right about that. You're right about that. So which one was a little bit more?
Yeah.
Because I can't do this. I can't.
You're trying to say I'm all bad, man.
Huh?
Hey, man. Gotta have some whips for it.
I don't like this. This is not. This ain't cool. This is.
They creating crime in our community,
Yeah,
man.
this is bogus.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is bogus.
All right, Brother Faulkner, you heard that, and I'm gonna read you the article in a minute. So based off that, there was a couple of protesters. They saying that pretty much that they are creating crime in their neighborhood. Now, here's my thing right here. I guess I can understand the gist of what they're saying, that the police is creating crime. But the thing about this is, it's just like bait car. What they do on bait car, they put a fresh car out there, and the people who in the car make believe like they got to argue with somebody, and all of a sudden they leave their car behind and leave this fresh car wide open, or a bike or motorcycle or whatever, and you just got some fools that will go there and jump into this vehicle and take off, because I'm pretty much sure how they label is, once you jump in the car and move it, you can report it as stolen. Is I'm correct?
Yes.
All right. So you can report it as stolen. So if we can watch bait car, let them do this and say, hey, those some dumbasses that jumping in the car and did that, then why is this a problem? How do they feel like their people is creating a problem by doing this operations thing right here? Because from what I read on it, they said that area was high crime for people breaking in freight trucks. But you use an officer, these officers who set up this thing. And a lot of people saying they out of line, but a lot of people are saying, hey, they just trying to get rid of the criminals. They not talking to black people, they talking to the criminals. So what do you think about this?
Oh my God, people make, as long as I'm not coercing you to do it, like here, put it in your pocket. Oh, now I got to arrest you. No, that's
right.
Coercion. No, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I leave a $10 bill out there and I keep eyes on the $10 bill and you steal it, yes, I could arrest you for it, because I didn't force you into the crime.
Mm-hmm.
You took it upon your free will and yourself to do such.
Absolutely.
So they're talking about creating crime. No. The fact of the matter is, your ass had all intentions of being a goddamn thief in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if it was a sting car or not. It's not creating crime. It's just, I'm keeping eyes on a vehicle to see who the criminal is. It's what you call, it's the synopsis I told you before. The 3 things the black community doesn't give a straight fuck about.
Mm.
Number 1, black boys. Number 2, education. Number 3, being the heroes of your own narrative. We're going to go to number 3 for a little bit. Every time an incident happens with a cop or anything, you're going to see a billion cell phones. It's like a damn old school Verizon commercial.
Mm-hmm.
When crime happens in the black community, how many of us look at it like it's not our issue? It doesn't affect us, but it really does.
Right. Right. And
So how many of us actually become the hero of our narrative? We just want to complain about the crime. I really don't want to do too much about it.
Exactly.
We want to look for somebody else to be the hero. We're playing Lois Lane, still waiting for Superman.
Absolutely.
We're being the imposters and protesting, saying you're bringing crime, When no, crime's been here the whole goddamn time.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it's been there the whole time. Stop acting disingenuous, like people don't commit crime on this planet.
Thank you.
So that being said, and everything being fair, I will also tell people, yes, I understand the criminal justice system is based out of, racist, white, supremacist laws.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is. But how many of us are raising cops, raising lawyers, raising so many children to be upright? Or we're just throwing them to the wolves and saying, hey, good luck, everybody. We're not going to be intellectually dishonest about the crime in our communities. I just wish we would stop this shit.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna sit around here and blame the police. No, that's you.
Yeah, I'm opening up the phone line for the audience.
You are joining the online studio. You are unmuted and can speak with the host.
Because I think somebody had a question.
You will now enter the conference.
I think somebody had a question. I just figured, hey, I'll just open the lines.
Presentation mode on.
Let them ask you
Only
themselves.
moderators can be heard.
But people, considering how the damn thing froze on me the first time, it fucked up a whole lot of time that I have. So you want to call her, ask them any questions, y'all come on and make it quick. The phone lines is open. If you want to ask them any questions or you want to state your opinion about what he and I are talking about or the topics at hand, call in right now while I got them on the phone. I do not have much time. Y'all got me up to 10:20 or 10:30. Phone line is open. Make the call. I'll be listening. But go ahead, brother. Keep on. Continue what you were saying, brother. Thank you. Continue what you were saying.
I'm a realist. I look at everything and I observe it accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest about it. I have nothing to hide. Sometimes I'm a little too goddamn honest. Let's be fair. I'll let you know when an officer's wrong or right, but we also got to look at the totality of the situation.
Right.
So having a debate.
Damn. Press the wrong damn button. God damn. Hold on, y'all. Maybe they could press the wrong damn button.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has...
Okay, maybe he's trying to call me back. All right. All right, here call back. Yeah, now that was my fault. I was moving that phone around. That's my fault. I made a mistake and hung him up. But now, as far as y'all calling into the show, now if y'all having problems, I don't know what's up with that. But I know, like last night, I couldn't do nothing with it because it kept saying, "Give me an error message," But it's saying it's open now. So, anybody having any problems getting on, Yeah, sorry about that, bro. Fucking around on that phone, man. Maybe they could press the wrong button, man. But go ahead, man. Yeah.
Oh, man, we like Maze and Frankie Belly. We back in stride again.
Right. Yeah, man. But go ahead and continue what you were saying. And y'all, like I said, the phone line's open. I'm on here for a little while longer. So you want to call and say what you want to say or ask this brother a question, you better make it quick. Come on in. But other than that, yeah, keep on saying. Go ahead, brother. Continue what you were saying, man.
And there was a question I was reading in the chat. It says, my question is, if there's a problem in the rail yard with thieves, which is private property, why are cops bringing these bait trucks into the community?
Mm-hmm.
You can bring it anywhere, actually. Are you going to focus on the less crime or where you have the high crime areas? A lot of times I've spoken about this on, I believe, yours and other programs on YouTube, where a lot of us in the Black community are ignorant from strategy. Are we going to talk about the areas where we have one crime happening on average, or we're going to focus on the areas where we have 30 crimes?
Mm-hmm.
They talk about you're bringing crime into the community. No. A thief is going to be a thief regardless if it's in the Black community, white community.
Thank you.
In the Martian community, Kryptonian community. We're not forcing you to commit a crime. Nobody said get your ass up in this truck and steal it because that's coercion.
You know what, and that's my thing too, Brother Funk. I'm glad you brought that up. You know, that's my thing. You know, yes, the truck is there, and like I said, I can get where they come from with. But the thing is, though, either you labeled it as racial profiling, nobody made none of us get in that truck and try to steal. I mean, it's just plain and simple. If you wanna do the opposite of that, don't steal the goddamn truck. Thank you.
That's simply put.
Brother Fogg, we got a call on the line. 510, you on the line with your boy Chris Thorns, Officer Faulkner. What's going on?
Hey, Giggles.
Hey, Giggles, what's up? What you got to say? What you got to say, boo?
Hi. Okay, so I was just calling just kind of like, I agree with you, you know. I was taught not to take what's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there is that temptation, and then some kids are actually taught, hey, when you find it, get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. I mean, I have officers and a military man in my family, and I've grown up to learn right from wrong. And so I understand the mentality of what you're saying as an officer, but as seeing just foolishness on the street, you know what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's kind of grimy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, you won the fucking lottery, but you didn't.
Right. So, Giggles, so what do you think?
I'm still tempted when I see like a quarter on the street to pick that shit up. Yes, I'm still tempted.
Okay. So, you know, you hear what I'm talking about, and thanks for Officer Faulkner calling on the line. Now, you hear his intake. Right. You hear his intake on everything. You know, do you have a question for him, or do you have anything you disagree with, or you have more you want to add on?
Listen, no, I completely agree with you, and right is right, and I completely agree with you. But I feel like, yeah, it should have been leveled. Like, let's do this on this street, on both streets.
Mm-hmm.
Why we picking one area? And then someone brought up something in the chat about, hey, it's the trucks, and I'm like, yeah, that was a trigger. I think that was the trigger, was the truck sitting there, ready. That was the trigger.
Well, here's my thing right here. You say, you know, where the guy say, you know, why you bringing this in our area, but why you not taking it over there to your area? And I can understand that, but see, here's the thing, though. Like I'm telling everybody what the article says, you know, they talking in areas where there's high crime at. You know, so if the high crime area just so happened to be our people area, then, you know, can you really just make an argument and say why you doing this to us when it's really not y'all doing it to us, we doing it to ourselves? Because again, where is these same guys that when they actually saw video of two people, were they dare to say, hey, get your ass out that truck, man, that shit hot? Or did they sit there and watch them do it and didn't want to get mad when the cops showed up?
Okay, I'm going to say this.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to ask everybody to call on everybody this. You got 2 injuries, right, on your body.
Mm-hmm.
you have a busted lip and you have a gunshot wound to your leg. Which one are you going to treat first?
The leg.
Why?
Because it's you're walking. You need it to function. Fuck the lip. The lip will heal
It's the more severe. It's the more severe injury, right?
Yeah. Right.
So that's the. In my district, we have near certain areas where it's affluently white.
Yeah.
So would it be smart if you were the district commander? When you go to meetings directly with the police commissioner every week, wouldn't it behoove you to have units concentrated in that white area where the robberies are?
And I'm gonna tell you this, so to answer that question for you, I don't live in a crime area. I made this discipline for myself not to live in no crime area. You know, I made it a point to make that kind of money to stay out of that area, to stay out of those.
Crime. See, that's the point that people don't understand. Crime can happen anytime, anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere.
Yes, sir.
It does not. Just because you live in an affluent area does not mean crime does not happen.
But
they may not speak on the crime.
I do.
The one thing you'll learn is that people don't speak on the crime, because if they reported the crime the same way they would go to the projects and report the crime, what happens to property value? It goes down.
Down.
So they're very tight-lipped about things that go on.
Mm-hmm.
When this is the crazy thing about black people with the ability to escape the quote unquote hood.
Mm-hmm.
We will go away. We will go away, and instead of investing in our own stuff, we'll invest it into the white affluent neighborhoods and make the rich even richer.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of investing the money into our communities where they need it, the synopsis of the three things the black community doesn't give a fuck about. If the black boy is quote and unquote 10 times more likely to be suspended from school, 7 to 10 more times likely to be convicted of a crime where his white counterpart would not be. If he's failing or not reading up to his grade level, sometimes even 3 grades below his grade level, if he needs mentorship from strong, heterosexual, successful black men, if he's failing schools because the schools are gynocentric and because he's a masculine boy and 93% of the teachers he'll have in his life are white women, and he's a masculine, strong, masculine black male, you already have not only a culture difference, but a gender difference. And he's third. He's last on the list. He's going to be held to the highest extent, but given the greatest disdain, even by his people. Why the fuck hasn't anybody done anything to change it? It's the same thing when that white senator in Congress said, well, a lot of these crimes in the United States are racist towards black people. You see it, but you haven't done shit about it. I'm not talking about you directly, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
We don't put up programs to say we need to give these boys trades. Because guess what? Yeah. On an average, a person with a trade makes more money than a person with a college degree.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back into the education system. We'll riot for some goddamn drug dealer who gets shot or some weird happenings with the police. Whether it's in the streets for that shit. But 3 and 7-year-old girls getting shot in your street, your boys are miseducated. We won't go on the steps of the Board of Education and demand better for our children. We're too damn emotional. We're not logical. And see, this is the point when I talk about why you need, I'm sorry, I'm a soapbox for a little bit, why you need mothers and fathers in the Black community, mentors, because we think too emotionally. Chaotic, we're emotional.
Yeah.
You have to have men to be logical and be calming. When you have more positive male influences, you calm the situations down. That includes the women, that includes the children. You become the anchor. A woman's a sail. A sail is going to go wherever the wind takes them. But what's going to keep that boat stable is that anchor, the weighted part.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing when we look at situations like this, and let's be honest, we're looking at a lot of these situations with emotion and prevent another incident like this ever again.
Right. And let me step in and say this real quick, and I'm gonna pass to you, Giggles, and give you the last word, but make it quick because I got somebody else on the phone as well. I want to say this too because I was just telling somebody who made a comment on one of my videos. I had to block them because you being stupid. But I did the video about the lady who killed her baby, took her baby to the river and drowned her baby or pond, wherever it was. Somebody comes to the comment section first. Babylon about this. I'm like, I haven't heard babbling in a long time, so I think he just shooting the shit. And he come back and say, yeah, well, Babylon ain't gonna bring this girl back. She's still dead. I said, okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up then. So since you said that, I want you to tell me, what can we do to prevent this from happening again? Life for being abused. Because you come to me and talk about, doing all this and ain't gonna make it no better. Okay, then let's come together, brother. Let's see what we can do to prevent the next one. He tells me it ain't nothing we can do because society just that fucked up. And I agree. I mean, it's something we can do, but about the society being just that fucked up, he's absolutely right about that. But it's a lot of stuff that can be done. But like you said, Brother Faulkner, when are we going to step up and do it?
See, Chris, I like to say something about that.
Go ahead.
Everybody likes to complain about the weather. Not a damn person likes to do anything about it.
Right.
There's many things we could do. Many things.
Right.
How many motherfuckers are actually becoming mentors for young black men?
Thank you. Not many.
It's a man's responsibility to protect, provide, and procreate with the community. Guess what? That may not be your child biologically, but if you call yourself a man, that child is your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be financial unless you really mentor that kid. But guess what? How many of you dudes out there saying, "Oh, you better than this. Get off this corner. I'm gonna teach you a skill. Meet me here."
Thank you. Absolutely. Giggles, I give you the last word. I'm going to this next phone call. Thanks for calling, dear.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me, and that was great. And I learned a lot.
Well, I appreciate you calling, dear. I appreciate you calling.
Nice.
All right, good night. Have a good one. All right. We're going to...
I like to say something. Come on, man. The man give you some good stuff. Put some likes up there.
Right. 262. You on the line with Chris Thorns and Officer Faulkner of the Baltimore Police Department. What you got?
Good afternoon, Chris and Officer Faulkner. This is Brian.
What's up, babe? How you doing?
How you doing?
Finding you love.
Oh, I'm doing fine.
I was just going to say that if, they can't blame nobody but themselves. It's all about the mindset. If I'm walking down the street and I see a truck and I ain't never seen that truck there before, I'm gonna keep it pushing because I keep aware of my surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I see it in my neighborhood, when I see these little boys, little girls doing something, I chastise and I tell them, I want you to come up in the house and sit down and pray. Sit down and pray and read this Bible with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all about the mindset. They can't blame no color, no area, no nothing. It's all about the mindset. Everybody got their head, their minds sideways. They ain't thinking straight, they ain't talking straight, ain't doing nothing. But a closed mouth don't get fed. Don't wait till somebody gets their life taken away and then want to stand up and want to be proud of this and proud of that. Do something before it happens. Be that backbone before it happens.
Mm-hmm. But the thing, Fire, about that is, you know, we can't accomplish that until we get out that mindset about the no snitching rule.
Yeah. And how many times I'll be snitching like ain't nothing. And I don't care. Because the area where I'm living at, I pay my money. If I mind my business, I want y'all to mind yours. If you're not minding yours, I'm going to tell you to mind yours.
Right.
We
in a civil way.
In a civil way.
In a civil way. So that's my right. But if somebody can't adhere to that rule in any neighborhood, and you being a menace, and you taking up space, as I tell my kids, you taking up much needed space, you need to move around, because I'm not moving around, because I'm not the problem. You're the problem. You need to go spray and rectify yourself and get yourself straight.
Well, we only snitch when something's happening to us. That's the only time we snitch.
Yeah, I don't snitch like I'm driving down the street and I see, per se, John Doe jumping over the fence and he done did something. I ain't that type of snitch. But when it comes to me and something over here by me, I will snitch.
All right.
Like I said before, closed mouth don't get fed.
You got anything you want to say there, Brother Falcon?
See, I tell people a lot. Us as black people, we have such a defeated mindset that we don't take pride in anything. And we look at it as it's not our problem. We don't want to see the police unless something happens to us. We have such a selfish mindset. We're the people who created the saying, "It takes a village to raise a child."
Yes.
But we let other people outdo us with that. So how can that even sound correct? Like, I'm just looking at it. We'll complain about, oh, these boys are on the corner. Who the hell's raising them?
Absolutely.
Who the hell is having these kids? The mindset is so messed up. Is that, once again, we don't look at that synopsis, which is, I'm going to have to trademark that shit. I'm surprised I don't get a Nobel Peace Prize for it. Because I'm like, y'all really don't give a fuck about the situation.
Right.
You treat, and I hate to go to gender roles, but it's gonna be full circle for a second.
Go ahead.
Anytime in history, your men or your boys are not doing up to par, your society and your civilization becomes stagnant, and that's when it starts to crumble. Because we live in this gynocentric world where the last 30 years they've been propping up the girls and tamping down the boys, what do you think boys are going to do? They're going to form hunting parties when they don't have enough males to tamp them down. Actually keep them, not tamp them down, but keep them focused and logical. And those hunting parties are called gangs. You're going to go with like-minded people in around a certain age group because, one, it's safety in numbers, and two, you want to be around like-minded individuals.
Right.
Good, bad, or ugly. Why don't we have schools where they're separated, and you could keep the boys and girls in the same building, but during school hours, they have to be in separate classes because studies have shown the boys will do better. You can socialize the girls and boys at recess, lunch, and school trips. But when there's business to be taken care of, why don't we actually sit down with the teachers and the principals, the administration of the boards, and fix this shit? You know why? Because we don't give a fuck about you. We look at our boys like objects. When they're little and small and they're cute, we'll dress them up in all the coolest polo and the Jordans. But when their asses become 250 pounds and 6'4", oh, that's when we want to look for a man to tamp them down.
Right.
And then when they're 18, You throw them out on the street and said, be a man, but there's no fucking way you told them to be one.
Thank you.
So what's going to happen? They're going to do what's called survival. I'm gonna steal because guess what? I need. Oh yeah, you have plenty of people who steal because they want, but guess what? If I'm hungry and you left a pie on the windowsill like they used to do back in the day, what are you gonna do? Mm-hmm. You're gonna steal that damn pie. But yet you have not put people in positions to have skills that will, as if you believe in Christianity, what did Jesus say? If I give you fish, I only feed you for one day, but if I teach you how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. Ooh. We don't, because we don't have that balance of man and woman in the community, they don't understand that men think in legacy, women think of nest. The man, his job is to think of the next several generations. The woman is to take care of the household so there can be other generations. When you have too much of something, that's called too much, an overabundance. That's why you have a lot of this selfish attitude in the black community in particular, because we don't have a lot of balance. We don't have anybody thinking of the future generation. Oh, I'm only thinking of the here and now. And that's why you have a lot of crime in these areas.
I agree with that, man, and that makes perfect sense, especially when you got parents that's encouraging their kids. All right, let's go back to that about the truck, about the Nikes. Let's just say, the moms cannot even provide to buy the kids some Nike shoes. Now, if they see something open and got Nike shoes actually in it, that's an opportunity waiting. Someone will put their children up to go in their truck, get a pair, and try to get out fast as you can. But now, even with that though, you still not thinking about the safety of your child, that truck is bait. You use your child for bait to get shoes, and that truck is baited to get your child. Then what? How are people going to look at you? And then when people come to her and say, well, man, why would you send him out to do that? He's just a kid. Why would you send him out to do that? She be hooting and hollering at him, at the cops, like they did something wrong. But no, you set your baby out there to go to that truck and steal some shoes. You did that. You did that. So who look?
That's selfish nature.
Right. Thank you.
And to piggyback off of what you said, I'm gonna read this question in the chat that somebody directed towards me.
Okay.
It was from Cloud M. I heard the truck was full of expensive Nike shoes. Also, what if the criminal tried to claim the truck and his cargo was an attractive nuisance? How can I say that in my most eloquent way that I can actually say it in my Baltimore need? Bullshit. Straight up, grade A, Americana bullshit. And it's the immaculate front that we put on. Oh, it was attractive. Now get the fuck out of here. Not right. To you, Cloud, but that's what I would tell somebody. Get the fuck out of here. I was like, stealing. If I go into a jewelry store, I can't steal the shit. Oh, it was too attractive. Just because I see a beautiful lady down the street and I pull her to the alley and force her to have sex, what am I going to get charged with? Rape.
Right.
It was an attractive nuisance, man. It was asking for me, man. That mini skirt she had on and that big and that fat ass, man. I can't do it. No.
Oh, boy. You see what I'm talking about? The excuses that we make, and it makes sense to us. It be so dumbass excuses. Just like the guy said, y'all creating crime. And I'm glad you said that. How can you create something, brother, that was already there? Now, if I heard you say, hey, man, we already got problems now, man. Y'all ain't going to do nothing but make the shit worse. I could rock with him when he said that. But he's saying y'all creating
I can't even
crime?
rock with that. If you want to prove, think about it. When they used to say the black mind was innate by the Eugenics Corporation, aka Planned Parenthood, for those of you who don't know, when they used to say the black mind was innate, the black body was inferior to the Aryan body. Here comes Jesse Owens blasting motherfuckers out the water. Here comes all these pilots from Tuskegee who were actually some of the best, if not the best pilots of World War II. When Eleanor and a lot of other people that was the people who flew the president and first lady around and actually was their guard in the air. When you had all these scientific breakthroughs from black minds, you proved it wrong. We proved them wrong. If anything, 80% of the inventions we use today were made by fucking black hands. And some of that was during slavery. Okay?
Somehow we fail to remember that.
And if you want to prove that we don't have as much crime, don't fucking steal the truck. Don't steal the cargo.
Thank you. That's all.
Don't move it somewhere else.
Right. That's all. That's all there is to it. The simple answer, plain and simple. That's all there is to it. You know you didn't buy it. It's not your shit. Leave it the fuck alone. That's all. That's the only solution. That's the only solution. Leave it alone.
This is how you know there's a difference in culture in the black community. We have a thug culture and we have a thought culture, the T and T, as I like to call it. T and this T, and when you put it together, guess what? It's explosive. They talk about why should we tell the boys to pull their pants up? Because perception is everything, unfortunately. I love my black skin, but guess what? You already have your preconceived notions before I even speak to you. I've been actually told by people, "Oh, you're ignorant. You're not educated." I thought I'm a pretty articulate motherfucker.
I'm dead.
So, fuck you. All of my Gettysburg Address and my lectures, fuck you too. So you're gonna have a lot of these preconceived notions, because I always tell people it goes back into the third part of the synopsis. Be the hero of your own narrative. What are you doing to change the image of a black man and woman? If black men, I could change the image of black men damn near almost overnight in 2 years. If black men went out there and started wearing suits, and half the time, and greeted each other instead of mugging, it would take over. I remember back in the day, you know, and I grew up in the 80s. I'm an 80s kid. Early 80s, I should say.
Yeah, me too.
It's the fact of the matter that you didn't go to church in just a tie. You had an actual suit. No way in the hell you going to tell me you can't afford a suit if you got a pair of J's on. That's like saying I can't add up the 2 plus. I can't add up the 4, and you got 2 plus 2 and 1 plus 3. That makes no sense. It still equals the same shit.
Right.
If you actually change that imagery of black people and make a conscious effort to hold each other accountable, there's a start. Because the accountability is going to have to start with us first.
Right. Now, okay, before I end this, I want to read the article of what they said. They saying that they are apologizing for what they have done. So this is what it says. It says officials have apologized after video footage of a so-called bait truck in Chicago went viral, drawing ire of community members and civil rights groups. The bait truck was left in a Chicago neighborhood, Inglewood, and attracted would-be thieves with expensive Nike shoes stocked in the back of the vehicle. The bait was planted as part of a joint surveillance operation between the Chicago Police Department and Norfolk Southern Railway. Chicago police have said that they did not participate in the planning for the truck, but did assist with arrests when asked. Now, they say we sincerely regret that our actions caused further unease, and we don't plan to use this method in the future. Herbert Smith, a manager of community and legislative relations for the railway, told the Chicago Tribune. Mr. Smith added beyond the apology that the railway had seen ongoing theft of parked containers, including theft of guns and ammunition, and those thefts have brought dangerous merchandise in the community. But ain't nobody bitching about that, though, right? Nobody bitching about that. At the time, local residents and officials told us we needed to do more to prevent this, and we have responded, Mr. Smith wrote. Norfolk Southern, in coordination with local, state, and federal officials, employs a wide range of preventative and surveillance methods, seen and unseen, to deter crime. We regularly change and improve enforcement tools, but unfortunately, thefts continue. Yes, it does. The video appears to show Chicago police arresting a man for allegedly breaking into the bait truck and was filmed by a community activist. Wow, he filmed him breaking in the truck. Is that what they saying? What the fuck? I'll get back to that. Residents of the area have argued they are being set up for failure. Oh, wow, really? Residents of the area have argued that they are being set up for failure and arrest.
Excuse me, Chris. I got to sneeze. Bullshit. You can carry on.
Right. Residents of the area have argued they are being set up for failure and arrest. Another video shows a member of the community confronting the officers for the truck. Y'all baiting our young kids here, man, one man tells police. I think this is bogus, and y'all shouldn't be entrapping black people. That's all, another man says. 3 people were reportedly arrested during the sting, though felony charges against those individuals have since been dropped. One individual still faces misdemeanor charges related to their arrest. Civil rights activists have said that in spite of the monetary concerns related to theft, setting up bait trucks is a form of entrapment. Police in Chicago must focus on building trust and better relationships within the communities they serve. Not engage in stunts like bait trucks, Karen Shelley, the director of Police Practices Project for the American Civil Liberties Union of Illinois, said. Chicago mayoral candidate Lori Lightfoot, who is also a former head of the Chicago Police Board, also criticized the practice, saying it was an appalling display of misplaced priorities and a step backwards on the path to trust and legitimacy. Right. But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I want to say this first because when I first did this story, I had a lot of people come and say, "We'll talk about that." You know, okay, so they talking about these with the shoes, but what about the people who stole the guns and bought the guns in the neighborhood? You know, why is nobody in an uproar about that?
Because they're using them.
Right. You know. Now, let me read some of the comments that some people left on this article. One person said, "Isn't there a law against stealing? If you do go to jail, the CPD need not to apologize." Somebody else said, "Funny that no one stops to ask why trucks of guns are being parked on Inglewood streets anyway." That's a good question, too. I lived in this neighborhood, and I can tell you that what the community has been complaining about is the fact that random train cars filled with guns would just fall off right here in a community with high poverty. Some, if the lowest funded schools, highest unemployment and crime. And if you check the stats, the only crime getting solved are drug related. Come on, you don't have to be a genius to figure this one out. Somebody said it's a big CIA conspiracy against black people. How'd I do? Am I at least close to correct? Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Let me just take a deep breath for this one. Number one, if I was the mayor or police commissioner, I would say I'm not apologizing for shit. I'm not pandering. You pay me to do a job. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to be effective. Aren't these the same motherfuckers that had 30 bodies shot over the weekend?
More than that. More than that.
Where's the fucking outcry for that shit?
Thank you.
You see a truck full of Nikes. Guess what my parents say? You touch it, don't touch shit, don't look at shit, because your ass ain't getting shit. And if you steal shit, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
Thank you. Yep.
So stop this bullshit. Oh, you setting up young black people. No, motherfucker, you setting up young black people. Did you invest in their fucking education? Now, one of these motherfuckers are marching on fucking the Board of Education to bring trades back into school, to bring SAT prep into school, college prep. No, they wanted somebody else to be the fucking hero. And here's the factor. The CIA doesn't have to do shit, okay? Yes, there are people in the CIA, especially during the 80s, when you grow up, they planted the seeds. You didn't have to take the motherfuckers. We're going here, but these are the same. I swear to God, I hate these activists because all they are a bunch of dog and pony. I got to make myself relevant bullshitters. If you really want change, then you need to get people within the school board. I swear to God, this shit makes me so fucking pissed off, angry. You go out there, you send the goddamn black boys, because that's who you're really talking about. The girls are fine. You know, y'all even got black girl magic. Can't do no fucking wrong. You go out there, you make sure your boy, all they do is play video games. You don't even have a fucking bookcase in your fucking house. You don't even have a book that's higher than 8th grade educational reading. You go out there, you let your boys do what the fuck they want. You don't put them in anything else except a sports program because you're banking on this motherfucker to have some skill and pull your ass out the fucking hood. Otherwise than that, you don't give a fuck about him unless he could carry something heavy, fight your boyfriends, or get out there and make you some goddamn money. You don't give a shit about them. But here it is, you'll talk about, you have multiple scores of bodies dropping in a weekend. It is more dangerous to go to a weekend in Chicago than a weekend of fucking Iraq. But yeah, you're worried about a goddamn car and a community where people stealing it, and you have a community advisor filming it. Why didn't he call the police? But here it is. We'll go around here making all these conspiracy theories instead of looking at the truth. You were an accomplice to your own destruction. Instead of proving everybody fucking wrong, instead of actually going out there and making some improvements to the community, we can't even accept accountability and saying, well, I need to do better. I need to make sure my kids do better. I need to make sure my grandkids do better. Because you got to think about this. The black community does not think about itself generationally. We think about each other in 2 weeks. We don't give a damn if your child can't read on the grade level. If your child at the highest damn level of math in your school is Algebra 1. How many of these goddamn parents even go to a PTA meeting?
And that right there is one of my biggest issues right there. You know, we got a lot of parents that don't even participate in their children's school activities, you know, and that's where a lot of this stuff needs to start at right there. When you're talking about the children, the young generation, you know, no, they didn't, Becky. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I get what you're saying, Becky, but everything I showed you, you didn't see nobody white up in it. If you did, I would have started talking about it. Okay?
But
so
guess
no.
what? Guess what? I'm going to speak on that real quick. You damn right there's some thieves in the white community.
Right.
But this
a lot of
it is.
deep work needs to be done.
It is. It is.
Because, me and my household, it's just me. I have to deal with the boys and the girls because it was best for the father to stay away. Because he was doing things that could fall off on, especially my son. So I made a choice along with him, and I'm good. I don't have no problem. I'm involved in the school, the court. The court won a program. 9 times out of 10, when they started teaching me, I'm going to teach them. I raised 6 girls and 6 boys.
All right.
And they dare not even look at me cross-eyed. I'll slap the spit right out their mouth, and they know it. And they the ones that, if they're going to the store, they better hold the door open for the lady. Or when I see them come back in the house, I'm going to kick their ass.
All right.
My kids,
I'm gonna just
say this with them on a band level.
Yeah, let's go ahead wrap this up. And Officer Fauna, appreciate you calling in, man. I give you the last word, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna just say this. One, Becky Dean, if you're not black, you cannot speak on black issues. You just can't. There's no way in hell you're gonna tell me, as a black man in America, how fucked up the system is when the system's built for you. 2, I wish that the community will get off its ass and stop thinking about low priority things and stop thinking of today, because guess what? Start of the future. If your children do not have a job, do not have a trade, do not have a degree, because guess what? That degree does not promise you work.
Yeah.
Automation's coming.
Yeah.
You go into your local supermarket, there are less and less cashiers. Even McDonald's have automation. If your child has no future and you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for the future children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, then you need to quit now. People who are destroying your communities. Put your best foot forward. You need to get people within the school board. If you really want to change policing in our communities, you need to homegrown your police. There are 3 institutions that should be monopolized by young black men, especially. Black people, period, but young black men especially. The police department, the military, the fire department. You will change a kid from being dirt poor to middle class overnight. If you make over $50,000 a year, you're in the top 15% of black men in this country. Real stuff. Start being the heroes, not the victims. It's good. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Brother Faulkner, thank you so much, man. It's always a pleasure, man. And make sure you tell Brother Josh, man, we missed him.
Oh, of course. Of course. I'm sure he'll be back on the next one.
All right, man. Yeah, you have a good night, brother.
You too. Peace.
All right, peace.
Yeah, have a good night. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Officer Faulkner of the Baltimore Police Department. And Lisa, I'm going to shut this down. Dear, you have a good night too, okay?
You too, hon. Love you.
I love you too.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
That was the
Your line.
That was Officer Faulkner of the Baltimore Police Department. And how this show came about, I was showing a video of a Baltimore cop was pummeling a citizen in Baltimore. Somebody said your race created this mess. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Stop that. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And I want to correct that too. You said we saying white people was saints. Nobody never said that. You never heard me say that. I don't know who you heard said that, but you ain't never heard me say white people saints. Believe me, I'd have dealt with it from that I know they evil as fuck. They with the conscious community. I found that out the other day. They with the conscious community. So, of course, you know how that works. You know how that works. You know, but no, I'm not talking about you, Becky. No, Lightbearer said that. She said that that we think white people are saints. I never said that. You would never hear me say that. I don't praise white people like that. Hell no. Because like I said, I done deal with just as much as them as I dealt with black people. And some of them some evil motherfuckers too. They low down as fuck. A lot of them are low down as fuck too. So you would never hear me say they saints. Fuck that. But at the end of the day, just like somebody said in the chat, you know, race don't cost you to do dumb shit. You cost yourself to do dumb shit. It ain't got nothing to do with race. Whether you white or black, Indian or whatever, you do dumb shit. All right? Just like we talking about now. Whether you white or black and you went and fuck with that truck, nobody made you do it. You took your ass up in there and fuck with that truck. You did that. Your race didn't have shit to do with you go fucking with that truck. Same thing with that cop. It could have been a white cop that did that. Nobody made him do that. He just got hot-headed. He got emotional. And he started pummeling the dude. It had shit to do with race. Because if it had something to do with race, then that black cop would have been pummeling a white dude. But it wasn't a white dude. He was beating the fuck out of somebody in our own community. So you can't sit up there and say that white people started this shit. No, they didn't. I don't know how y'all believe this shit, but no, they didn't. Because nobody white ain't never influenced my mind to go kill another brother, go steal from him, get his girlfriend pregnant, kill his child, or none of that shit. Nobody white ain't made me do a goddamn thing. Any dumb decision that I made it solely on my choice. But now, if you want to go on the flip side now and say, you know, I'm listening to some white person, they gave me some bad advice, and I took their advice, and when it did what they told me to do and I got fucked up, you know, I could slightly say something about that. But then again, at the end of the day, I didn't have to take his advice and do what he told me to do. Because if shit sounds fishy, then you grown up to say, you know what, that shit don't sound right. I'm not finna do that shit. We all are grown to know when something looks and sound fishy. And another way you could tell too, if somebody tell you to do something and they ain't finna do it, you should know right then and there something fishy too. Why you gonna send me out to do something that you could have did yourself? But you don't watch me go break into a store while you stay behind because you know your ass won't do it. And as soon as the cops run up on me, you gonna take off running. And when the cops talk to you 9 times 10, you gonna tell the cops, I ain't had nothing to do with that. He did that. I ain't had nothing to do with that. I can sit up here and tell the cops, you know what, that man told me to do it. That shit ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna fly. Yeah, he told you to do it, but did you have to be the dumbass to do it? See, he played you. He played it smart. He played you. He told you to go do it, and your dumbass went and did it. Now, you the one that handcuffs, not him. It's his word, your word against his. Got nothing to do with race, because it can happen to anybody. Just so happened tonight that the shit that I showed, it with the cop. Just dealt with a lot of brothers, a lot of my brothers. But one thing I got to agree with what a lot of people saying. How can you get upset about these shoes, but nobody's making no outrage, like I just read in the article, about these guns and shit? Nobody made an outrage about these guns coming in the community. I didn't hear no outrage. But a couple of people get arrested for stealing merchandise that didn't belong to them. It's an outcry. Now, you got to tell me, like, Barry, you still listening, what's up with that? What's up with that? Why you okay with smuggling guns in my neighborhood and showing it off to everybody, say, hey, I stole this off that train. Hell yeah, this motherfucker fire, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, I sell this to you, man, for about $200. You get it about $200. You know that black market price. Nobody saying that. Nobody saying nothing about it. Buck. And the same thing with the shoes. Let's just say the truck wasn't baited. And a lot of people went in their truck and stole all them shoes and shit, and nobody was getting caught. Them folks would have stole that shit and sold it to the brothers on the street for another quick $1. So how can you say that's white people fault when we are creating our own demise? We creating our own demise. If I go get a gun right now and go shoot a motherfucker for whatever reason I choose to do it, it could be no reason at all. Who made me do that? Nobody but me. I chose to do that. I chose to do that. And that's one thing I stand strong on is accountability and responsibility. I stand strong on that. I don't blame nobody for my fuck ups. Nobody. When I fuck up, I fucked up because I chose to do that. Not because nobody made me do it. Nobody made me do it. And I get tired of seeing my sisters and my brothers always blaming somebody else for our downfalls when it's us doing it the whole time. Because again, at the end of the day, if the shit is fishy, then don't do it. But if you know the shit is fishy and you still continue to go down that path, you got nobody to blame but yourself. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Stealing is stealing, regardless how you put it. Stealing is stealing. You can try to sugarcoat it all you want to, but stealing is stealing. Even if you steal a quota, and you know that quota ain't yours, you still stealing. You still stealing. That's all there is to it. So it's time for these excuses got to stop. Time for excuses got to stop, people. And I just get disappointed that some of you who in this conscious community, I don't know much about the conscious community, but if that's what y'all do, blaming white folks for everything, then I don't even see how y'all even look to succeed. If y'all blame everybody else for your problems, I don't even see how y'all can succeed with anything. If that's y'all motto, blame the white people. So if that's y'all motto, blame white people for everything, then that's something I definitely don't want to be a part of. Definitely do not want to be a part of. Like I said, I don't know what what is the philosophy behind it, but for what it sounds like, blame white people. It's their fault. They tearing us down. They the reason we ain't getting no jobs. They the reason why I ain't got no house. They the reason why I ain't got no car. They the reason for this. They the reason for that. They the reason for this. They the reason for that. If that's y'all motto, then thank God I'm not a part of it. And I would never be a part of that. I would never be a part of that. And you would think, since y'all saying black conscious, y'all be the main one trying to teach our young generation how to take accountability for what they do. How to be responsible young men and young women. But that's not the way it seems that it goes. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for joining the show. You know, another good show. Sorry about what happened earlier. You know, what can I say, y'all? We just got to do better. That's all. We got to do better. Both sides. We got to do better. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Catch y'all next time. It's your man, Chris Thorns. I'm out. Peace.